a setting sun, but I'll never run. I'm a dead man walking. I'm a dead man walking. I will stay and fight as long as I'm alive. I'm a dead man walking. I'm a dead man walking. I'm a dead man walking. Hell's at my door. I'm a shadow of the man I was before. I'm a dead man walking. Before I die, I'll take every soul I can into the night and kill till I die. And kill till I die. Oh, and kill till I die.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now?
Good evening everybody, and welcome to the Sim Experience SA Porsche Classic Cup, sponsored by Owen. The drivers are now getting ready to race, and for some reason it is gone. Looked like it went into nighttime. It is now daytime again, thankfully. Not too sure what exactly is happening. Sometimes this goes a little bit berserk. While we are waiting for things to happen, let's have a look at our schedule for the season. So this is round 4 from Zwartkops. Round 1 was Kyalami, round 2 was Aldo Scribante, round 3 was East London, and round 5 will be Kyalami. While everyone's heading out, let's take a look at our starting order. So in pole position we have Monet Duploy, in second place we have Sean Olivier, third place Stephen Castellan, in fourth place Timo Smit. In fifth place we have Bjorn Buchner, in sixth place Ross Human, in seventh place Sean Johnson, in eighth place Dirk Brandt, in ninth place Willem Steyn, in 10th place Mario Castellan, sorry, I'll get that right later, and Sean Webber has made it for 11th place. Alright, so let's have a look at let's get that off the screen. Perhaps I should show our intro as well. Intro and our details. So we are at Zwartkops, round 4 of the Porsche Cup. It's a fantastic racing circuit, which it looks like everyone is already on their way. Could have sworn it was meant to be a standing start. Alright, so let's get into the race. Sorry, let's get into the qualifying. I'm really backwards here. So let's start that again. Right, going into the qualifying, that was our practice results. Glad to see everyone is here. Hopefully I'll wake up for the rest of the session. Oh, Stephen getting it nice and sideways there and fighting the car. So going through our driver lists, we have Dirk Brandt, who's one of our new drivers. Well, I say new as in new to driving the Porsche Cup with us. He's a long-time driver that's been around and driven with us many years ago. He's of course well known on many of the other leagues. An old friend of mine and one of the guys I really enjoyed racing against. So really a pleasure to have his presence here. He's also done a little bit of streaming himself. So do a search on YouTube, you'll find some of his streams that he does. He mostly races at Sim Race South Africa and covers his in-car streams, but they're very good. If you enjoy that, then definitely give it a search and go hit him up. So good shout out for Dirk, glad to have him here. And I'm sure he's going to be enjoying these cars. I know he generally likes classic cars that require a bit of fighting. And he hasn't driven R Factor in a while, so it's good to see he's dusted it off again. Right, so I believe this is perhaps Ross Human that we're looking at the moment. So let's get up our timings. Now we're with Sean Olivier, driving the same car as Stephen Castellan, who at the moment is on pole with a 108.188. Sean currently second, but looking to improve. Stephen Castellan's also on to improve on this lap. Of course, purple sectors mean that's the fastest overall. Times are looking pretty good at the moment. Sean Olivier on a 107.674 for pole position. 0.110 faster than Stephen Castellan. 0.7 faster than Ross Human. Unfortunately, it looks like some of our drivers are having connection issues at the moment. Including Monet Deploy, who is in, but at the back of the room, Stephen getting it really sideways. Stephen really seems to enjoy these cars. Tail end just hanging out. Fantastic first sector. Not so good middle sector. Let's see how he can end the lap. Perhaps he can still improve. And he needs to find a fraction, but I don't think that's going to be the fastest. But you never know. Oh, he's going to hit the wall. Right, well, he actually managed to, I believe, improve ever so slightly. Sean Olivier going to improve. At the moment he's not improving in sector 1 and sector 2. How will his final sector fare? No, he didn't manage to improve, but Sean Webber going off there. Getting that all wrong there. Still currently very fast though. And Sean is definitely one of our faster drivers when he gets the hang of a track. I think another one that's had a few connection issues and only just been able to join. Monet of course is our media director, creator. He's also having a few connection issues, so he unfortunately might at some point disconnect. Sean Olivier looking to improve. Great middle sector. Actually, the first sector was a bit slow. Let's see how the final sector lines up. And as we're saying that, we see that Monet Deploy is stuck it on pole, provisional pole, 107.406. And Ross improve. Willem looks like he's lost it out of... This doesn't look good. He's gonna slow motion reverse into someone. That's a shame. Monet on for an even better lap. Is this going to be a 106? No, it's not. Final sector, unfortunately. If it wasn't for that sector, he could have possibly been low 107s, possibly a high 106. Look like possibly Willem Steyn spinning again there. Maybe that's after the damaged rear end of the car has given up. Surprise 12th position there with Timo Smit. He's our second man in the championship at the moment. Sorry, second placed man in the championship. We're getting it all side, but somehow managing to be fast while doing that. The fantastic thing with these cars, if you can get it right, it feels great and it's fast, but if you can't quite hold it and you're on a knife edge, once it goes a little bit too far, then that's it, you're gone. That's a 107.406. I believe that his lap didn't improve there, then that I think is the same lap from before. So Stephen Castellan on a great middle sector, but once again a slow first sector. Ninth place, and in 10th place we have Dirk Brandt and Sean Johnson, old sparring buddies from the past. We started racing back in the day of Assetto Corsa, when Assetto Corsa first launched, and we had joined Simrace South Africa. That's where we all met up. That was just when Simrace South Africa finally changed from GTR2 over to Assetto Corsa. A couple of us met up then. I guess, as they say, the rest is history. Of course, Simrace South Africa is still going strong. So if you don't know who they are, and where have you been, and if you do know who they are, and you haven't joined, then join their YouTube channel, sign up. They also do some fantastic races, fantastic leagues, very well run, well-oiled machine. Not sure why we're staring at these dummies in the pits. Alright, Monet Deploy, is he on for a good lap? Alright, his fiddle, his middle sector is great, but his first sector not so good. So Timo has managed to stick it up into third. Would expect nothing less from one of our top championship drivers. He's only taken part in 2 races at the moment, but yet he's won both of the races that he has taken part in. So expect him to be a strong contender, and he's very consistent in the race. Oh, unlike Sean Olivier over there. Oh dear. He got it all out of shape, and that was accident waiting to happen. So 7 minutes left of qualifying. Who is going to challenge Monet for the pole? Will it be Timo? Great first sector, a great second sector, not the greatest, but the greatest first, and his personal best in the second. Let's see how he finishes the lap. I believe he's got Sean Johnson in his sights, so maybe that's helping him out. We have a yellow in the middle sector. We're getting a little sideways there. Not quite. Did manage to put it in second though, only 0.2 off Monet Deploy. Bjorn Buchner is also, I believe, moved up to 5th. I think he was a few places down a couple of moments back. Oh, someone taking the scenic route there, deciding they don't need their bonnet. Hope they had their seatbelts nice and tight, because they really hit that wall hard. Oh, it was Sean Johnson. That's the thing with these cars, you're on the limit and then it just a little bit over and that's the result. But if you're going to push, this is the time to push. Don't do that in the race. Definitely want to do it in practice or qualifying. Find the limits so that you know how hard to push and for how long. That was close to Steven there. I wonder how much he backed off. If at all, maybe he chanced and just kept his foot in it. Timo on for a great lap. Fastest of both sectors so far. Can he stick it on pole? It's very, very tight. It's still showing Monet is first, so if he didn't stick it on pole, it must have been extremely close. And it was 0.067 off pole. Timo Smith on that previous lap. Dick Bunt slowly getting faster as well. Now up to 8th place. His old sparring buddy Sean Johnson right behind him. Of course, Sean Johnson come race day is always super solid. Expect him to come good. Another one that's extremely consistent on a race day. Just like Timo Smith is. Timo once again on for a good lap, as is Monet Deploy. The heat is on. Final moments of qualifying. Nice tight line there, keeping it neat, not too slidey, keeping everything in line. How is he going to fare crossing the line? Fastest of both sectors. Will we see the first 106? 106.7, indeed it's a 106 and well into the 106s. Monet putting down his marker, he definitely wants a win, he's overdue. So the gap from 1st to 7th is 1.5 seconds. Then there's a bit of a gap to Dirk. And until 10th place they're sort of fairly close. And then a bit of a gap to Mario and to Willem. Willem and then Mario. Mario's really struggling with these cars. He's very, very capable in a Formula car, having seen him practicing at Suzuka the other day. Drove some Formula 3 cars around there and he was pretty decent in those, so obviously just not gelling nicely with these cars. These cars are extremely difficult to drive. It requires a lot of driver input and lots of correction and lots of work on the pedals. You can't just put your foot down and lightly touch the wheel. You've got to constantly keep correcting. Or someone going off in front of Timo. I believe that was Sean. Sean moving over nicely for Timo. The other Sean Olivier, getting it a little bit wrong there. A bit early to be doing donuts. So, a minute and a half left in qualifying. So Mornay currently a full half a second clear of Timo Smit and 8/10ths faster than Stephen Castellan. Now, Stephen in the practice and the service was capable of going faster than what he has at the moment, so I'm pretty sure he can, and he just might put it a little bit closer to Mornay. And that is the end of the session. Who's on a flyer? Who are we watching? Stephen Castellan, personal best in the first sector. Close can he put it to Mornay Deploy? Can he possibly steal second place of Timo Smit? He's got the fastest middle sector. He's trying a bit too hard. How much did he lose there? He might have managed to still hang on to some of that extra time that he's got. Going to be close. How good will his exit be? Not quite good enough. But he did improve, but not enough to pinch second. Alright, so our starting order, it looks like it's going to be Mornay Deploy from Timo Smit, from Stephen Castellan, from Sean Olivier, from Ross Human, from Bjorn Buchner, Sean Weber, Sean Johnson, Dirk Brandt, Andre Hildebrandt, Willem Stein, and Mario I almost said Castellan again. I'll try to remember his surname by the time the race starts. Alright, let's head off to an ad break. I'll catch you shortly. Alright, and we're watching them on their formation lap. So let us do our introduction and have a look at the event. So we're here for round 4 of the South African Porsche Classic Cup from Zwartkops in Centurion. A 4.1 kilometer very tight circuit, 30-minute race. I'll be your commentator Dennis Mitchell, and your broadcast director, or your, what would the word be, creator of all our media creator is Monet Deploy. He's also our pole sitter. So let's have a look at our grid. So in pole position we have Monet Deploy. In second place we have Timo Smit. In third place we have Steven Castellan. In fourth place we have Sean Olivier. In fifth place we have Ross Human. In sixth place we have Bjorn Buchner. In seventh place Sean Webber, and in eighth place Sean Johnson. In ninth place we have Dirk Brandt. In 10th place Andre Hildebrandt. 11th place Willem Steyn, and in 12th place we have Mario. Right, as the drivers line up. Gives us time to reflect on our sponsor Owen. Thank you very much for Owen for being with us for so long. And it's green and we're away. Hope we have a nice clean start. Monet getting out the blocks, great. Timo perfect in second. Steven, everyone looking clean. But a penalty for Sean Webber. I hope it's not a repeat of last week where Sean had many penalties. Sean Johnson also a penalty. Perhaps they were rolling on the start or didn't line up correctly. On board with the Timo. Now will Timo be able to stick with Monet? We have a yellow flag in sector 2. I'm not sure what that's about. We haven't seen anything and I can't see anything in the background. Looks like Monet is trying to pull the gap on Timo. Right, so Webber is in the pits at the moment. Looks like he did a drive-through penalty. So perhaps it was a roll on the start. Ross Human looking for the place there. Mighty close there, locking up the front wheels. Right on the heels of Dirk. Bjorn not too far ahead of them either. Once again Dirk's had a great great start. Dirk's another one that's just amazing come race day. Ross trying really hard. His Monet Deploy has done a 107.8 for the fastest lap of the race. So it looks like this is going to be the battle for 5th. Or battle for 4th actually, with Bjorn in front of them. And should anything happen to anyone in front of them, it would be for the podium. Fantastic to see how the cars are sliding around as they try to steer and fight it all the way. Right, on board with Ross Human here. See how close he can get up to the tail end of Dirk. Bjorn getting it all wrong, running deep into the corner there, getting a bit sideways, trying to get out of it as quick as he can. The new fastest lap for Sean Olivier, 107.475. So could Sean Olivier be a dark horse for the race? If he keeps that up, he most certainly can. Ross Human getting really close to the back end of Dirk there. Probably thought he could break a fraction later, and Dirk maybe caught him off guard a bit and he had to sort of correct slightly and turn out of the corner a bit. Yeah, they have to feather the throttle. Ross is getting a bit impatient. He wants past Dirk. You can see that 4th place in front of him. Is he going for it? Oh, locking up. He had to ease out of it. And the new fastest lap from Monet Deploy over 107.2. Fantastic battle going on here. Dirk's defending for all he's worth. Taking a nice wider line out there. Keeping it tight there. Ross having to go defensive to avoid having an impact. There's sector 3, someone's probably gone off in the final corner, I would imagine. So Timo's still kind of hanging in there with Monet at the front, only a second behind. Keeps that second gap towards the end, and then he's managed his tyres a bit better, still has a chance. All the while this battle for 4th place is still just as close as ever. And another penalty for Sean Webber. Not sure what he's done. Perhaps he ran off in the final sector. That's a DNF. Something must have gone wrong there. Looks like Ross is eased off ever so slightly, allowing Dirk a bit of breathing room. Will he start to push again? Steven looking up the inside of... Is that Sean Oliver? Oh! It was Hildebrandt. And a penalty for Hildebrandt. Now what was that penalty for? Was that for the contact there with Steven? I would assume so. Not sure what kind of penalty, it just shows that he's got a penalty. It doesn't say what the penalty is. It might just be a added time, or it's maybe a drive-through or a stop-go, which for that sort of impact would be quite a harsh penalty. But that's all allocated by the sim itself. New fastest lap by Sean Olivier once again, 107.191. Dirk's really pushing Bjorn now. He's on the attack. Looks like Ross is taking a slight breather, and that's allowed Dirk to regroup as well. Timo Smit is now within a second of Monet Deploy, and Sean Olivier only 1.5 off. So the podium fight is really strong at the moment, and the podium guys are pulling away from this fight, this brilliant fight here for fourth. I say, yeah, I mean, it's changed now. This is the fight for first. So we have a three-way fight for first, and we have a three-way fight for fourth. I'm not sure, but it looks like that might be Sean Johnson that they're coming up to lap. Him having had a penalty, he's unfortunately been dropped back quite far. It's a great shame because he's usually brilliant in the races. I'm always expecting him to be fighting for possibly the third, fourth place. And Dirk can he hold on to it? Oh, he's managing to keep it out the barrier at least. Unfortunately, that's Dirk out of the battle for fourth. Well, 20 minutes remaining, only a third of the way in, and still work his way back. If Dirk is by any chance being held up by Bjorn, then possibly he's got the pace to actually catch him again. He still has 20 minutes, so anything's possible. And Timo Smit has taken the lead, but then run wide. Can he square it off and manage to get ahead? Yes, he can. Not too sure what has happened to Sean Olivier, but he's not with them, so perhaps he got caught out by Sean Johnson getting through the field. It looks like Timo and Monet managed to get through, and that's possibly how Timo took advantage of it to take the position. Sean Olivier is still in third, but the gap between them is now 7 seconds. So I didn't catch what happened there. And looking in the comments, we have Yvonne saying good luck guys, and also I believe that is Donnie Stunder in there saying sorry, the internet is still bad, no problem, it's loving the stream, glad to have you watching at least. If you're at least able to watch, then that's always a bonus. Not as good as being able to partake, but yeah, great to have you watching. Hope you join us soon. Right, so can Monet catch Timo? Is Timo going to do it again? Another victory. Can anyone stop Timo? Monet seems like he's burnt out his tires. The car looks very loose. It's loose in the corner, it's loose out of the corner. And I only realized we have Stephen Castellan as DNF'd. I'm not sure what happened there. That's a shame. Another one of our top drivers that has had some kind of issue. I'm not sure what it was, whether he went off or whether it was a mechanical failure. So watching the gap from Dirk Brunt to Bjorn Buchner, it's about 7 seconds. Will he be able to make up the time? I think that was Andre Hildebrand spinning as he's being lapped there. And I see Sean Johnson, even though he's been lapped, with all other guys going off and having DNFs, he's still managed to keep it in 7th, which for his championship points is great. He's currently sitting 4th in the championship, which we can see if we're able to see the standings at the moment. It doesn't always work, so let's see how it works. And if it's going to be correct. No, it's deciding not to work. So that's not exactly helping us much. To do those live timings and have it has to be manually updated, and there's a lot of text in that, and I presume something wasn't quite right, and that's why it's not showing what it should be showing. So perhaps I can just read out the championship standings in the meantime. So currently in first place we have Stephen Castellan on 106 points. In second place we have Timo Smit on 94 points. In third place we have Sean Olivier on 91 points. In fourth place we have Sean Johnson on 80 points. In fifth place Sean Weber on 77 points. In sixth place tied with 77 points. Bjorn Buchner in seventh place with 68 points. Ross Human in 8th place with 47 points, Marius van Wyk in 9th with 45 points. In 10th place we have Rian van der Westhuizen on 29 points. In 11th place we have Gavi Goos on 23 points. In 12th place Waldo Swiggers on 22 points. In 13th place Willem Steyn on 18 points. In 14th place Andre Hildebrand with 15 points. In 15th place Dani Stander with 15 points. In 16th place we have Mario with 13 points. In 17th place Hilke Verenigde with 8 points. In 18th place Dylan Versage with 7 points. And in 19th place Dennis Knutzer, who has no points. Monet is hanging in there, still got Timo in his sights. 13 minutes left. Looks like he's closing the gap slightly. Perhaps he's calmed himself down, got the car in line, starting to slowly bridge the gap. Looks like Timo made a slight mistake there going in a bit wide, but that can actually benefit you in that corner. Helps you get a bit more drive down the straight, and it seems to be the case. So Monet is still keeping it to within a second, 0.9 behind Timo. Sean Olivier has unfortunately dropped off a bit further. It's now 11 seconds back. Dirk is now 5 seconds back from Bjorn Buchner, so possibly he can still catch. Just over 11 minutes left to go. For those of you watching, just to remind you that after the racing we will have a support race in the MX5s. It will be a short 20-minute race. And everyone is welcome to join. There are no championship points. It's just a support race to boost the Porsche Cup and to give the guys something extra to do while they're here at Zwartkops. So after the interviews we will jump to what's left of their qualifying, which will only be a 10-minute qualifying, and then into the 20-minute race. Not sure who that was pulling over there, but thank you, and it's good driving just to move over and let the leaders past. Right, we're into the final 10 minutes. So, will Ross Human catch Sean Olivier for the final podium place? Will Monet Deploy catch and pass Timo for his first win and to stop Timo from winning every race he's taken part in? And while Monet is in chase, he's managed to set a new fastest lap of the race. 107.1. Of course, these guys that are racing now are getting some good mileage here at Zwartkops, which bodes well for them for the next race. Their track knowledge might help them do better. MX5s are also stock standard car, no setups allowed, but they're a lot more underpowered compared to these cars. So it's all about keeping your lines, keeping momentum up, whereas these cars, it's all brute force, stopping them from sliding. So Monet is now within 0.8 of a second, closest he's been in a while, but not seeming to get any closer than that. So Timo was actually a fraction faster than Monet on the previous lap. Monet actually now dropping back slightly. It's now over a second again. Is Timo now speeding up, or is Monet making mistakes? Or Monet's tyres perhaps now starting to wear? Timo making a mistake, but once again able to get a nice drive, but Monet is at least closed in on them. Now down to point 3. If Timo has a mistake like that while Monet is this close, he will definitely lose the place, and someone is off there. I'm not sure who that was. It might have been Mario, I think. So Timo has been very lucky or very skilled to make the mistakes when and where he has, to not be able to lose position. Monet is hot on his heels, but just can't get close enough. So Timo taking the wide line this time. Definitely the faster line. Gets much better drive. And by taking that line, Monet can't get past on the inside and has to stop the car, and then doesn't have the momentum to get down the straight. So it's a good defense by Timo, which also gives him a good offense when he goes down the straight. So some smart driving by Timo at the moment, keeping it all nice and neat and in line. Dirk Brandt has managed to catch up to the back of Bjorn Buchner. So Dirk will be fighting for that 5th place by the end of the race, which is within 5 minutes. There's 5 minutes left of the race, so another 3 or so laps. Sorry, another 4 or so laps. I see Dirk Brandt has had a DNF. Not sure what happened, but he was closing and now he's DNF'd. That's a shame. Looked like he was going to challenge for the 5th place, but Bjorn will breathe a sigh of relief. Once again, Sean Johnson has capitalized. He's now up to 6th place. Having had a penalty at the start, having served it, having been stone last, and he's still managing to get a 6th place. See Mario currently in the pits. Looks like he's serving a drive-through penalty. Perhaps when we have the interviews we can find out from the drivers what these penalties are that they're getting, and Bjorn Buchner is spinning off there. Well, he managed to hang on to his 5th place. I think Sean is too far back to be a problem. And Mario is still in the pits. I see he's now stopped. So perhaps he thought he had a drive-through, but it was actually a stop and go. When you're driving in R-Factor, you have a box in your car with all your telemetry in it. And you have to scroll through that to see your penalties. That'll tell you exactly what penalty you have, if you've served it, if you haven't served it. It also tells you your pit speed limit, so you know when you're coming to the pits not to speed, otherwise you will get another penalty. So perhaps the guys are not quite used to that yet. And perhaps that's why Mario is back in the pits, so he served the incorrect penalty. And of course, if you don't serve it within 3 laps, then you do get a DNF. Or perhaps that would be a DQ, not a DNF. So Andre Hildebrandt is now up to 7th place, also having a good race so far. 2 laps down, but managing to keep it fairly clean. It looks like Mario might have gone off again as Andre comes past him. And a new best lap from Monet Deploy over 106.936. A minute and a half left to go. Getting a bit sideways there. I think he lost a bit of drive going down to the straight. And Timo with the line he's taking there. I'm surprised Monet hasn't altered his line to try and compensate. But the line that Timo is taking is definitely the faster line. Oh, getting it really sideways there. His heart must have been in his mouth there. Going through that corner, once it goes like that, it's very difficult to hang on to it. So well held. When you watch the guys driving like that, hanging it sideways and holding onto it, looks so easy, but it's definitely not an easy car to do that in. It's very rewarding when you do, but it's extremely difficult to actually do that. So the race is nearing its end. We will do interviews shortly, and then we'll jump to an ad break before we jump into our MX5 support race and see how that goes. That might give a slightly different approach to racing. Those cars you can go bumper to bumper and pretty much everywhere. Right, so this is it. This is the last lap. Who's going to get to the line first? I'm pretty sure Timo's got this in hand. Right, so Timo, final sector. Or is this middle sector? I think this is middle sector. It's final sector for now, sure. Right, final corner. I'm pretty sure he's got it. Yep. Timo bagging the win. Monet Deploy getting a solid second place. Sean Olivier taking up a nice third. Ross Human, solid 4th place as well. See if he can get it around to the end. Final part of the lap. About another 3 corners to go. The left and then another left. And now the final corner. That's a nice solid position. Willem Steyn, a good solid 8th place as well. Also struggling with these cars, but hanging in there. As long as you make it to the end, you will eventually figure it out, and you can only learn from your mistakes. Bjorn Buchner, a solid 5th place, great position. Which I believe might also be his best position of the series. So, that is our standings done and dusted. Let's have a look at our final positions. If I could find what I'm looking for. Right, so here we have our session results. In first place, a fantastic first place for Timo, having won every single race he's attended. That's 3 out of 4. Monet Deploy, solid 2nd place. Sean Olivier, solid 3rd place. Ross Human, 4th. Bjorn Buchner, 5th. Sean Johnson in 6th. Andre Hildebrandt in 8th. Willem Steyn, 8th. Andre Hildebrandt in 7th. Dirk Brandt, 9th. Mario in 10th. 11th we have Steven Castellan, and 12th place Sean Webber. Alright, I am going to see if I go find our top 3 drivers or possibly whoever else is left, and while I'm doing that I'm going to go to an ad break, and then from there when I come back after the interviews we can go and find the guys in the MX5s. So catch you in a moment. Alright, we're live. We have Timo Smit, our race winner, race 1 winner. We have our second place Monet Deploy with us, and we have our fourth place Ross Human with us. So let's start with our winner, and unfortunately there's a lot of work tonight. That's not an easy car to drive, and certainly in these hot weather conditions. Well done Timo, that was a fantastic win, especially coming under threat there from Monet Deploy for the last half of the race. Any words from your side? Yeah, it was certainly entertaining to watch. Unfortunately, some of the guys having some issues. I noticed quite a few guys got penalties. So I'm not too sure what that was. Maybe cutting the track a few things. Maybe the start, maybe rolling on the start. Looked like 2 guys maybe rolled on the start. Sean Johnson was one of them, and he managed to hang in there and actually get a solid 7th place as a result of it, with some of the other guys with some DNFs. So great race there, Timo. So Monet, from your point, how was that? You looked like you were going to have a commanding race win there, and then suddenly Timo managed to catch you, and you didn't seem to have the pace. Well, you had the pace because you set the fastest lap near the end, but you just didn't seem to have enough to catch him, enough to get past him. Then Ross, from your point of view, you seem to have a great race as well. Sort of solid 4th place there. It's probably your best result of the... No, it isn't. You had a 3rd place of the last round, I think. So it's... Yeah, so it's another solid position. How was the race from your point of view? Yeah, that's great. He certainly was having a good race with yourself and then also with Dirk Brunt as well. So unfortunately, Dirk Brunt having a issue with fuel from what I read now. So that was a bit of a bummer. But the server is now live for the MX5, so I'm going to let you guys go. You can jump in there. We can go have a support race, and then hopefully I'll chat to some of you again after that. Thanks everyone. And welcome back. Unfortunately, just waiting for some more guys to join in. They're having connection issues. So instead of jumping straight to qualify, I'm just going to wait until a few more guys have joined, and then we can get everything rolling. So in the meantime, unfortunately, the server is in night mode. It is meant to be in day mode, so if it ends up being a night race, I apologize for that. The server tends to have a bit of a mind of its own. But for those that are here, we will just watch a little bit of practice. I'm going to be silent while I'm just trying to help a few guys. In the meantime, I will leave it running so you have something to watch. Alright, well unfortunately it looks like there seems to be a problem with the car. I believe that there was an update for it and it seems to be creating a clash for some of the drivers. It looks like most of the drivers actually. So unfortunately a lot of them can't join us, so I think we're going to have to postpone this until the following round. So we're going to leave it here for now. Hopefully it goes better for the next one and we can have everyone joining us and they can get a chance to drive these fantastic cars. So in the meantime, I'm going to leave you with this and we will catch you next week. Thank you all for watching and have a great week.